What's going on YouTube? So last year, BMW shocked the world with a radical redesign of their 7 Series flagship sedan. And now it's time to get even more radical for 2024. This is the 7 Series in the M70 version. This is going to be the highest performance model that they have ever made with this 7 Series model. And today, we're going to check it out. So let's go ahead and get started. Now obviously the highlight of this vehicle is going to be the performance because there's a lot of that and you're not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned. But first let's take a look at the exterior. They haven't made a lot of changes for the i7 in the M70 version. So up front you still have the very large kidney grills that debuted last year. You have a pretty aggressive lower fascia here finished in gloss black. And then in terms of our headlights, you'll notice the grille kind of extends into the headlights themselves, goes down, full LED, and then you've got the separated housing up here for your turn signal indicator as well as your daytime running light. And as you can probably tell by looking at it, it looks fancy because it is. It's actually made of crystals. Now, just like any version, you're going to have a variety of different wheel choices. We have a 21-inch alloy wheel, nice M design on board. We also have large brake calipers to slow this large vehicle down once you get up to speed. You have a special M badge right there on the side, and in terms of our mirrors, they're going to be finished in gloss black, and of course they're fully loaded. You'll also notice the little extension here for the M design.
Now the 7 Series continues on at 212.1 inches long in terms of your overall length, and this vehicle is very squared off here at the side. We also do have the black contrasting door handles. But let's go ahead and check out the rear design and see what you're going to get for the M70. So just kind of like what we've seen in the front, BMW hasn't changed a lot of the design elements for this special M70 model. So we're just going to have that traditional 7 Series look back here. We have kind of a blank trunk lid. We do have our taillights off to the side. They're going to be full LED as you would expect. We do have an M70 badge though, so that's going to clue you in as to the performance of this model. Down at the very bottom, we have a aggressive diffuser. It's going to be finished in a piano black with some chrome trim. Of course, you don't have exposed exhaust outlets. This is an all-electric vehicle. And the M70 is very fast. So BMW knows that, and they're going to give you all of your safety systems as standard equipment, including a highway assist function that can do hands-free highway driving at speeds of up to 85 miles per hour. But guys, there's a really cool interior that we can't wait to show you. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Let's go ahead and check out the interior. That, of course, is where you're going to be spending most of your time. But before we do that, we'll take a quick look at the key fob. Typical BMW affair, nice gloss black finish. Now, of course, the 7 Series does have the automatic doors. That's always a crowd favorite. Just press that button right there, step out of the way, and allow the door to open up and greet you into the interior. A absolutely stunning interior, I might add. They've really done a lot of work to the interior to really make it a special place, and there are some special elements with this M70 as well. Now, interestingly enough, we actually have substituted out leather in this model for a mostly cloth seat. This has a very chic look to it. Quilting, of course, going throughout. Everything about this seat is going to be fully adjustable. You have massage, you have the full gamut of things to adjust. The controls are going to be over here on the door trim, of course finished in beautiful glass, in addition to all the other materials, which I'm getting ready to show you as soon as we hop inside. And once you get inside, step on the brake pedal, and the door will automatically close as well. Now, as promised, let's look at the rest of the materials. Like I said, it is a absolutely stunning place. BMW's used a lot of variety of materials, so we have the quilted cloth on the armrest, full leather all through here. You're going to notice glass, real aluminum. Carbon fiber is actually going to be what runs through the center section, leather all the way up to the top of the dashboard, more metal, more carbon fiber, and a little bit of piano black with glass control accents. I have to applaud the variety that they have used inside of this cabin. It's stunning. Now, to start it up, you're just going to put your foot on the brake and press that button right there. Now, obviously, this is full electric, so you're not going to hear an engine fire up, but you do have that little special sound effect to tell you you're in an M product. Speaking of M touches, you'll notice that the gauge cluster does have special graphics on board with the kind of M font that looks a little bit more aggressive. Obviously, that's going to be fully customizable. And then up top, you also have a very large head-up display, again, with special M graphics. Pulling back to the steering wheel, we have a very nice steering wheel, flat bottom design, thick rim. We have the M stitching running throughout, and you have the blue outline over the BMW emblem, power tilt and telescoping, and you have heating as well. Storage-wise, center storage here is all right. It's decent, not a bunch of space, but you don't really expect to have a bunch of space in a vehicle like this. We also have our 2 cup holders here. We've got a big storage cubby right there and wireless phone charger. Coming back to the shifter, we have the glass controls on board. Just pull back for drive, press forward for reverse, and of course you have the 360 camera. Great resolution on this camera system. You can press that button to go into the 3D view and see all around the vehicle rendered in the exact quality of the car. Very, very impressive, as in all BMWs. The P is for park, of course. And then in this console area, you're going to find a lot of different things. This, of course, is the floating control knob for iDrive system. We also have the glowing glass control for the volume on our high-end Bauer & Wilkins sound system. This is actually going to have 36 speakers. It is a very, very high-end system, and you're taking a look at those beautiful metal speaker grills as well. Now, you're probably wondering, where are the vents? These are actually the hidden vents. This is kind of a new BMW design characteristic. They're inside of here, and then you use this little toggle to actually direct them towards yourself, and then this touch capacitive thing will control the airflow. This is also part of this special interaction bar, so this will change colors with the ambient lighting. Different things will happen, like when you turn the hazards on or talk to the virtual assistant. And then in terms of the main climate controls, those are going to be inside of this display here. This is also where we can click. If I go back here, we can click and do the 3-stage vented seats, 3-stage heated seats, and 3-stage steering wheel. Now, in terms of the infotainment system, 14.9 inches. This is also one of the first models to get updated to iDrive 8.5, so you'll notice that the graphics are going to be a little bit different and the layout's different. So we have the navigation actually makes up the home screen now, and then you have the extra tiles over there, and the other apps are inside of that. Wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. Up top, we have the auto-dimming mirror, 3 HomeLink universal remotes. We have a beautiful headliner that's going on up here at the top. If I press that, we can open up our panoramic sunroof. Of course, right now you're also seeing a cool feature that Mason is getting ready to talk about, so let's check it out.
Now here in the rear seats, we have a ton of space. To be exact, we're looking at about 43.3 inches of leg room, about 39 inches of headroom, so definitely a very spacious rear seat area here in the 7 Series. Now, there's a lot of really cool stuff that I want to talk about, so I'm just going to go ahead and start knocking those things out. First of all, I really love this seat design. We even have carbon fiber in the back of the headrest. How bougie is that? I do believe that's a special feature if you choose one of these M models of the 7 Series. Additionally, when it comes to features, all of that is really going to be controlled here in the screen on the door trim. So on the door trim, you have a lot of different controls. You have controls for your climate zones. You also have controls for your rear window sunshades. So I can go ahead and power close the sunshades. If I go back, I can do quite a few different things, including adjust the seats. My rear seats are actually going to be massaging, so I can power massage here in the rear area. And not only that, if I kind of switch over to this seat right here, and then go in the screen menu here. If I unlock it, I will be able to push this button right here. Now, this button is a very special function of a full recliner. So this model has this as an option, and certainly this is going to be a very, very good place to spend time, because we're not done yet when it comes to features. It's taking a little bit of time to fold the seat up here. So about 30 seconds later, you have a full recliner. Oh my, okay, and we're tilting up. We're tilting up, and oh yeah, so it even pops out a little footrest for those of you who are a little taller in the bottom of the seat back, and this is definitely the most comfortable reclined seating position I've ever been in. This is awesome, guys. Now, it would be really a shame if all I did was go to sleep, because we do actually have a theater system. So let's go ahead and fold that down. So when I push that button right there, as you can see, the 5K display goes ahead and folds down and powers on. Oh my goodness, how cool is this? This is actually the first time that we've used this system. You can put a lot of different things on it. You can actually watch two things side by side, and it really does feel almost like you're at a movie theater. You're certainly not going to get this in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It is just so advanced. I mean, we even did a Rolls-Royce Ghost review yesterday, and it didn't have any of this in the rear seat. So call $200,000 a lot of money, yes, but you are getting a lot for the money. Now, walking up to the trunk area, as you can see, we do actually have a taillight animation. And if we go ahead and pop this area open, we're going to have about 11.7 cubic feet of cargo capacity for this i7 version. If you choose a 7 Series, as in a gas version, you'll have a little bit more cargo capacity. But if you're spending this type of money, I imagine you probably have an SUV to haul your stuff, so you won't be too concerned about this. It will definitely fit your golf clubs, although you're not going to be able to fold the seats because they are power adjusting. But guys, I'm ready to go on a drive. Let's go ahead and do it and see what this M70 is all about. Well, guys, here we are behind the wheel of this $200,000 BMW i7. This is one fast vehicle. So we are very excited to show you what this is about when you get behind the wheel. Of course, we will also be getting stuff like our signature sound level reading, so you can see how quiet this i7 model is. But first, let's go ahead and get that acceleration. Oh my.
Well, it's fast. We told you it was going to be fast, and we knew it was going to be fast, but when you experience it, that's something different, because this is a huge vehicle. You know, you can call it a limo. That's what I like to call it, is a limo, and it goes 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds.
Crazy.
What the heck?
Also, the noise it makes is crazy. It totally makes you feel like you're on a roller coaster or something. Wow. Now, as far as how much power this is, when you choose the M70, you get the most power, 650 horsepower, 750 pound-feet of torque. So we are talking about some insane numbers, guys. I feel like I can't even laugh. My body doesn't allow for that. The amount of G's you feel.
Yeah, it feels like you are taking off and you're getting ready to go airborne and then continue on to space.
Holy moly.
This is so big that you actually, rear up the front pretty good when you go from a dead stop like that. This is bonkers.
Yeah.
Now, this is courtesy of two very powerful electric motors, and of course you do have a dual motor all-wheel drive system to keep power to the ground.
Yeah, and as far as the battery pack size, it's 101 kilowatt hour. So it's a pretty good sized battery.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as you would expect, something this big to get decent range and to have this level of performance, you're going to need a pretty solid battery, that's for sure. I also love that BMW, they call that iconic sounds when it has a sound effect. So it's not just dead silent like a Model S Plaid. When we drove that, it doesn't really have any noise at all. You just feel the acceleration. I like that it has some form of noise. It gives you a little bit more of a traditional feel. And I honestly think it makes it feel a little bit faster. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, we've done some really good accelerations in this M70. You're probably curious as to the ride quality, because this is not just a vehicle that's concerned with performance. It's also a vehicle that's concerned with having exceptionally good ride quality. And boy, let me tell you, I mean, these roads are completely beat to pieces.
Like what?
What bump? I mean, like,
this is crazy.
There's like almost no concrete left on that road at all, and it just soaks it up so well. You feel almost zero intrusion into the cabin. And let me just go ahead and compare it. We drove a Rolls-Royce Ghost yesterday. I would say this is not as good as the Rolls-Royce, but it's about 90% there.
Oh, it's very close. We're actually in the sports setting right
Yeah,
now.
and we're in the sports setting. It can get even better than this. I can actually go ahead and, if I find the button here, I can go ahead and switch it into personal mode. I believe that goes ahead and makes it into the comfort settings that whoever has designed. And I mean, yeah, so good.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, the throttle response is very good. It's very linear, so even though you have just absurd amounts of power, it's very well controlled. It's not something you're driving around going all the time, like because you are hitting the throttle too hard. It's something that's very linear as you progress through, and when you're ready, you better be ready, but put your foot down, and then you're going to get all that power. Now we found our way out to a little bit of a country road here. So we accelerate up to speed, kind of go around a couple corners to show you guys that even though this thing is positively huge, it is well controlled. It really defies physics, but having the adaptive air suspension allows tricks like that, where you can go down the road here with this kind of magic carpet type of feel, but then throw it around a corner and not have it just fall all the way over, but actually kind of lean into the corner and feel pretty nice, honestly. And the steering is very fast responding. It does have a nice, light, pleasant feel to it, but very fast responding.
Now, the reason you do have that adjustability is because you do have a standard air suspension. You also have adaptive dampers. So that's really the mechanics of how it's able to have that level of adjustability in performance between the sport mode and the comfort setting. Got to speed up to 55 really fast so we can get our sound level reading. It's a requirement. All right, 55 miles an hour. Official Car Confections sound level reading going 55 miles an hour, 52.2 decibels. Very, very impressive sound level reading. That is, talk about a Rolls-Royce Ghost. I believe that's about the same as what we tested with that model.
And this is crazy, guys, because we're in South Carolina and we're actually on this concrete road with a lot of grooves in it. And this thing is quieter than anything else we've driven today.
Yeah, that is very impressive. I don't sit here and guess, though, as to how it compares to some of its rivals, because on carconfections.com/sound level readings, we actually have posted all of our sound level readings for this segment, and 52.2 does place it on the upper end of what we've tested out, but what we've tested out has been back home in Lexington, Kentucky, not on a concrete strip of road. I do imagine this would be probably the quietest thing that we've tested out in this segment, honestly. And you would think that you'd have horrible range with this much performance out of only a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, although that is a pretty big battery size. This is a big vehicle. We have pretty impressive range. It's between 274 and 291 miles, depending on your wheel choice. Very, very impressive range, honestly, for this top-end model. Now, of course, if you need better range, you can get the 50 versions that has up to about 321 miles of range. So it is going to be reduced from other versions of the i7, but not bad whatsoever. And then, of course, you have all the gas variants if you'd prefer not to have electric.
Right, we didn't really talk about it, but there's like 80 versions of this in terms of powertrain choices. So whatever you want, you can get it.
And as far as charge time, you can go from 10 to 80% in about 34 minutes on DC fast charging at 195 kilowatts. Let's go ahead and get into one of our other signature elements, our slam dunk and air ball. Now, Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an easy slam dunk and air ball. The slam dunk is the interior. Wow, it's just stunning. It's beautiful. It's modern looking. It has just fantastic material choices. Technology is top notch. I don't really know what else you could possibly want from an interior.
Yeah. And as far as the air ball is concerned, we're gonna have to say exterior is a little bit less than ideal. It's a very controversial design. Some of you guys might like it. I've warmed up a little bit to it, but it still does not have the elegance of something like a Mercedes S-Class. So you're going to have a very bold design. So if you like the bold designs, you will like this vehicle. But if you're looking for the stately elegance that is common in this segment, you're not really going to find it here with the 7 Series. And as far as last things to mention here, you do have a 4-year, 50,000-mile basic and powertrain warranty. You're also going to have 3 years of complimentary maintenance. And let's go ahead and talk about pricing. Now, all this doesn't come cheap. A 7 Series isn't cheap, much less once you get the highest-end version, the M70. We're starting at $168,500 for this version. And as far as this particular model, this window sticker comes to a grand total of $194,645 as tested today. So we are looking at a very expensive vehicle, but you are getting a lot for that money. Now, if you're looking to buy a BMW i7 or any new vehicle, the next place you should go to is carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, on our website, we have a tool that will connect you with local cars and local dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. Also, it's going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description. Well, guys, that's going to be all for our in-depth review of the 2024 all-new BMW i7 M70. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your $200,000 purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help us get invited to programs like this where we can come and sample out some of the finest automobiles on the market right now. So by subscribing, you play a very pivotal role in the content we're able to produce on this channel, so please consider doing that. If you're already a part of our Car Confections family, thank you so much for your continued support. We really do appreciate it. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.